and then I saw like a rare PEPE asset on the exchange in there, and I'm like, what is this, you know? And so I'm looking at it, and then some people bought some of the tokens and stuff, and then I look further, and there's like a rare PEPE chat, Telegram. There was like only 20 of us or something like that.
Yeah.
So I went in there, and I'm like, what the heck's going on? And basically, Mike, who was the head of the chat, he basically said, oh, I took the card and merged it with the token. And I kind of knew that already because Spells of Genesis was the first project that was doing the cards with the token, you know, attached to it. And so that was my actual introduction to it. So when I saw that rare PEPE thing, I was like, kind of already knew, but I was like, all right, I'm jumping in, I'm going to help out. And so, you know, it went from 30 people to 100 to 200 to 1,000. And I brought this show and tell. But this is the tome right here. You got Eleonora Breezy. You know, do you know her? Okay, she put this book together.
Sorry,
yeah. I think she manages Packatow currently.
Okay.
But she put this book together with another guy. His name's Meme Conscious Online, and his piece is in the back right here. It's like a minimal PEPE right there. But anyways, this book was put together after all the work was done, all the pieces were made, and then finally the rare PEPE scientists closed down the shop and said, we're done. We're going to just keep this rare and this and that. But I mean, it catalogs every single piece. I mean, I recommend anybody that wants to get it that every single card is in here. Of course, you can't see the gifts, but everything's in there. It's kind of like a tome now. It's pretty interesting, you know.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to have because it's kind of sentimental now. Because the bigger this thing grows, I just look at it. I'm like, oh, that's kind of just the beginning, you know. So yeah, I mean, total geek territory, but like
no, totally. I mean,
it's but it's like that's where it started, you know. That's like, you know.
I think a lot of the time people forget the kind of inception of this whole thing started with kind of PEPE was the thing that made it big. And so you were there. What was it like during that time when they started selling for massive amounts? Were you actually making some of the PEPEs or? Yeah,
I got like a bunch of ridiculous and they're like. It's funny because the aesthetic of it is it's meme based. So you want to make the crappiest card known to man and see if it's funny enough to sell, right? So like I mean, I don't know. I think I made about like 10 or 20. I don't know. I can't even remember what I made, but I was just helping out and just kind of helping the network grow, like of artists around the world. It became worldwide, you know. Yeah, I mean, let me see. I mean, how it was like. I basically just kept seeing artists on board, you know, and at first we were just making crappy cards just for fun and just to do it. But as far as the pricing, it got kind of gnarly after like people started kind of like hoarding names, I guess. So they were trying to find the most like popular meme name. So they would name that and then make the card. And like, I only got 10 of these, you know, that was kind of the technique involved, you know. And I did that too. Like I made the Lord Keck card. I still have one left. But the other 9 are flying around getting sold. I sold like one for like 10 grand before I went to Europe. It was hilarious, man. Like there was some, like this was before.
For the holiday.
Yeah, like this was before I even jumped into super rare, non-origin, rare art. Like I sold this thing and I'm like, time to go to Europe, man. I went to like Berlin. I went to England and Paris and Tokyo and all that, but yeah, that was the first like crazy sale. I sold a bunch of other ones for like 1 BTC when it was like $200 or something like that. So like I was kind of getting used to the fact that people were willing to pay ridiculous amounts for this kind of stuff. So like when I showed up in super rare and all these other galleries, I was like already kind of like big headed. I'm like, you know, but I was like, let's take this to 150,000. Let's go. But so like they probably understand now where I was coming from. But yeah, like that was the first instance of like selling high like dollar amount for like, you know, memes and stuff. It was pretty nuts, but it was fun. You know, we were having a lot of fun doing it, and it was just cool because the artists that were coming on were just coming from all over the place. It was definitely global for sure. And then like when they made the PEPE Cash currency, that's like it just got kind of insane from there. Because they actually got into exchanges and it just got big from there. They got into Japan. There was like a Zyph exchange they were one of the whitelisted cryptocurrencies out of like 10 or 15,
Yeah.
which was weird. You know, they finally took it off, but we were kind of laughing about that. Like, oh, Zyph was only allowing Bitcoin, Pepe Cash, Litecoin, like all the major coins, and then that one. So I was kind of laughing about that too.
Hey,
But
hey, Gabriella. Hey, Corrosive Creations.
what's up?
He says, I don't know if you can see it, but he says you don't talk in caps lock.
Hey, Mocha's in here.
So,
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about. Actually, tell me about that. Where did the caps lock thing come about? Because that's kind of.
Oh, that actually started from me just harassing Poloniex, the trading exchange. I you know, like they got the chat thing on there, and I just turned into like a comedian on there, and I just kept getting banned every day, and so it turned into a thing, and it was a small joke, and then it just grew, and then that's literally how it started, and I just kept it. I said screw it, you know, but yeah, just funny little things here and there.
No, it definitely makes you stand out.
Cheers to everyone, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
There you go. Yeah.
So actually, that's kind of interesting. Is what do you think? I mean, because I think everyone who looks in at the Rare Pepe thing thinks it's a bit mental. And is there any way that you could explain that to like someone who wasn't there who would understand it?
Just like the whole
sales,
thing, or?
the massive sale, because I think that was the maddest things. You know, we used it initially when we were starting the BAE. We used it as like almost a case study, but I'm not sure that you can put any logic behind the what
Yeah, like I'm selling memes for 10 grand. Like what? Like okay, so you know, Counterparty, if you go check it out, it still works. I think the fees might be equal to Ethereum now, but like, you know, you go there and it acts like a normal exchange. There's tons of assets, but you can't see the pictures of them. They're probably on some website that's maintained by somebody like the Rare Pepe people. They have rarepepedirectory.com. You can go there and you can see every single card that was made. And so that's the attachment to the token currently. But as far as like explaining it and like just how the prices were, I think Bitcoin at the time was way more like, just crazy, just the trading was just crazy. So people were just going for whatever they thought was just going to be, you know, they want to buy some value or something. And so, you know, I started getting, you know, propositions for like 1 BTC for something. And I'm just kind of like laughing. I'm like, all right, sweet, you know, but the cool thing is that, you know, like people could just, if you were an artist and you wanted to make a card, just do it and then send it in and they'll just publish it. And then we'll have series, you know, 16, series 17 or whatever. And you know, Rare Designer, you know him?
Yeah.
That artist? Yeah. Rare Designer came on, I can't remember exactly when, but he came on probably like 4 months or 5 months in, and he kind of stepped up the game with the animation and stuff. And actually, truth be told, the very first GIF art is a Rare Pepe. I actually had to look it up because I was talking with Max about it, and I go, wait a minute.
Have you seen? We had him on last time. Have you seen Ollie's stuff from 2005? He did some. It's kind of weird. It almost like he preempted a lot of the meme movement. He did GIFs. He had this concept of the idea that you could talk through GIFs, and he made some like really early ones for Vodafone and T-Mobile, and that was I think they might be the first time anyone thought of doing it, but it was never kind of like sold like that.
GIF art for sure was done before. No doubt about it. But I think like what I was saying was like tokenized, the very first like tokenized GIF piece, because I remember like someone dropped it. I forget who the artist was who did it, but we're like, okay, the game has changed, time to do GIFs, you know, and then from there on it started becoming more GIFs and then that was that, and I think